Hey, welcome. I'm Corey.
I'm Amanda.
We live at ROCKPILE, 100% off-grid.
So we're coming up to 4 years living off-grid. So we thought it'd be a great time
To run through our solar system, how it's performing, how much it cost.
How we've been managing it.
Yep.
Like in the house and in the shed.
All the nitty-gritty of what runs ROCKPILE.
And the big question, has it been worth it?
Yes, has it?
Let's do a recap of our system.
Yes. So here we have 16 solar panels on the roof of the shed. They are Trina Solar. Hopefully I pronounced that right. They are 330 watts each. VOC is 45.8. There's 4 strings. Each string is wired in a series parallel configuration. Total watts of the solar is 5,280 over these 16 panels. Let's go check out some batteries. Now, as for our batteries, we've got I'm not even going to be able to pronounce that. USA. These are 600 amp hour lead acid solar batteries. Oh, flame retardant. Very handy. These are like 2 volt cells. So we have 24 of them wired into a 48 volt configuration. So we have 48 volt at 600 amp hours, which is 28.8 kilowatts. Now they are lead acid, so obviously we don't get the 28.8 kilowatt of usage, but we'll just call it, say, a 14 kilowatt usable battery system. Now we just bought these steel shelves. These are rated at like hundreds of kilos per shelf. They're like super heavy duty because these batteries are pretty heavy. I think from memory they may be like 40 kilos a pop. They're like a bit of a workout getting them in. We have the solar panel like breakers. This turns off the solar panels to the system. There's the 4 strings in there. From there we have a Vitron MPPT. This is 150 volt / 100 amp charge controller, and that basically just regulates, keeps the batteries in check. From the batteries we come out to a DC isolator. This is just a 125 amp DC main switch, and that basically separates the batteries from the inverter if you need to work on it. Now, as far as the inverter goes, it's a Vitron Quattro 48 volt 5000 watt inverter, 70 amp charge capacity. Now, we have never hooked our generator up to this to charge our batteries. We have only ever used the sun to keep our batteries in check. But that's because of how we sort of use our power in the house, and we'll explain that in a little bit. This is what gives you the 240 volt, like a normal house. So out of here, we come into just a main isolation switch. So we have the house switch. We have this one here is for a couple of power points in the shed, and this is just the main switch to turn that off. Then from here, we go underground. We used, I think, 16 square mil cable on a run of about 18 meters to get to the house, and we have another one of these in the house, and that's basically the switchboard for the house, and that has like all the, you know, normal switchboard stuff for your house in there, your power points and your light circuits and stuff. So what did this cost us? Well, 4 years ago, all these components, the solar, the rails, the batteries, the shelf, everything you can see, was $12,200. Now, the batteries are second-hand and the solar panels are second-hand, but everything else behind me is new. Now, I did price up this exact same system for a friend of ours, probably 3 months ago. Second-hand battery, second-hand panels, the same size wattage of solar, like a 5 kilowatt basically system, all this stuff. And it come to about 14,500. So we installed this entire system ourselves, solar panels, racking, batteries, all the stuff on the wall. So if you were to get someone to come out and do this for you, the cost would be at least double. And then we got a Sparky in to deal with the 240 volt stuff to get our 240 to the house.
So we are in our off-grid home. It's 108 square meters. We've got 5 rooms. We've got like one central area, which is like an open living kitchen kind of living room area.
Yep.
We have the study that we're in now. We have a master bedroom, a single master bedroom, a bathroom, and then a kind of larder pantry area to stash. Jars. At the moment, mostly jars. When we came here, we didn't want to try to replicate our previous kind of more suburban life, like that type of wild and free usage of power.
We basically needed a small power station to run that other house. We thought, well, if we're going to do that here, we're going to need like a pretty big solar system to kind of continue that. So we thought...
And the budget did not allow.
No. So we wanted to be a bit more responsible for our, power consumption.
Yep.
Even though we make our own power.
Yes.
Right? We still want to be, not over-consuming, I suppose.
It's not just about how much you're paying on your power bill. It's how much energy are you using on a day-to-day basis. Okay, so how do we manage power usage in our off-grid home? One is appliance choice. Choosing appliances that have a lower power draw. And that could be more complicated than you think, because not all appliances have...
It's not clear all the time. So we try and find the wattage of everything.
Yep. And calculate it down to what would be the draw on the system. How many watts per hour the appliance uses.
Yep.
And also what is the max power usage.
Like a kettle, for example, like an electric kettle may range from, we'll just do a ballpark figure, 1,500 watts to 2,500 watts, right, for an electric kettle. You fill it full of water. Generally, you only want a cup of coffee, but you'll probably have 3 cups of water in it. You flick it on, a couple of minutes later, you've got hot water. Now, that's just chewed, say, 2,000 watts. You've got your washing machine on, which is generally...
that's a big power draw.
Which has a heating element in it. That might be another, 1,500 to 2,000 watts. TV's on because you're checking out some YouTube channels. All of a sudden the retic comes on, so the pump comes on. Our water pump, for example, is 400 watts, but you might have a water pump that's 2,000 watts. So in that 5-minute window, you've got your kettle on and all this other stuff. And don't forget your fridges and your freezers are running and you've got lights on and your computer's on. You might be using 6,000, 7,000 watts in that one instant.
And that's where it's important to choose the right appliances, because if you've got multiple going at the same time, you're not going to max out the load on your system.
That's right.
Our philosophy is reducing the load on our power system. We're not aiming to max it out. And if we're smart with our appliance choices, we don't have to worry about pushing it to that limit. So we talked about appliance choice and also appliance usage. So this is like a behavioral thing, being aware of how solar systems work and how we use our appliances in sympathy with that.
Yeah.
So for example, we've got a few kind of red sticker items, which we know are high power usage items.
Mainly the washing machine.
Washing machine, air conditioner.
Yeah, the air conditioner's pretty, the little air conditioner in the bedroom, it's a 3.5 kilowatt aircon.
So our choices when we're using some of the higher power usage appliances is being smart about when you're using them in relation to each other.
Yes.
And when you're using them during the day. So when your solar power system is making power, coming into the panels and filling up the battery buckets, and there's excess power and it's overflowing, that's when you would use your power during the day instead of, say, waiting until the evening and then just doing everything.
Putting it on once the sun's gone down, you're basically chewing up the power out of your batteries when you could be doing it, say, at 10 o'clock in the morning when the sun's out.
Yep.
And you're just using all that excess power that you're making because your batteries are already fully charged.
One question people have a lot is, what happens to your power if you've had multiple rainy, cloudy days?
Yeah, well, basically I just go switch it off and we live in darkness. No, so cloudy days, this is why you need like a larger battery storage bank to kind of get you through those few days. So we have about 3 days worth of battery savings, power, I guess. Yep. If we have really bad weather for a few days, the main thing that we wouldn't use is the washing machine. right, we would just wait a couple of days and then...
And just get stinky.
Even on cloudy days, our solar system still like charges. It just doesn't charge as much as, say, like a nice, 25-degree crystal blue sky day.
Yeah, I mean, we
Right?
don't have to completely change our
Yeah.
life for it. There's just some of those like red sticker appliances that we spoke about. We just won't use them during that period. We probably could, but we don't want to drain the system.
Yeah, because we don't know if it's going to be
Yeah.
2 days of cloud or 5 days of cloud.
Yeah.
And as I said, we've never hooked a generator up to charge the system, purely because our system is always in float.
What does infloat mean?
In float means it's basically fully charged. The system is 100% charged, and the sun coming into the panels is just kind of like just topping the panels up.
So float is a state, and there's two
Yes.
other states it can be in, isn't it?
Yes, so there's bulk. There's the yellow light state. There's bulk, absorption, and float. Right? So on our little thing, we have like a red light, a yellow light, and a green light. So in the morning,
Is float green light?
float green.
Okay.
Green for go. Right?
Green for go.
So in the morning, it's been dark all night. We've used a bit of power out of the batteries to keep all the fridges and freezers and stuff running. So the batteries are kind of a bit on the, they've come down a bit in charge. So in the morning, the sun comes up, we go into bulk, we're like jamming the power back in the batteries, right? Then come to absorption, I guess you just kind of describe it as a kind of like back off a bit, we're not smashing the juice in. And then come float, we're like, it's time to crack a beer. Our old power bill at our old house was approximately $3,000.
Three to
3 and a bit.
yeah,
Every
a year.
a year. I was going to
Yeah.
say every 2 months, but
No.
the bill came every 2 months.
Yeah.
Right? But yeah, a year.
Yeah.
So-
let's say about 3.5 a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you look at our solar system, that cost us just over 12,000. So that's basically 4 years, just under, right, of power
Yeah.
bills at the old house.
Yep.
So technically,
So we've pretty
We've-
much broken even now.
we've paid for it,
Yeah.
right? We're living here now with free power.
Free power.
We're going to call it free power because, 4 years, 12 grand system, 4 years to pay it off, and previous power bills
Yep.
equivalent to this. So
Yeah.
now we're
We now-
living here
Now
like
we're
free
broken
of
even.
charge.
That's great. This system, it's not a forever system,
No,
right?
no,
So it's all well and good saying, oh yeah, power's free, but at some point we're going to have to maintain or replace components or
Yes.
upgrade or something
Yep.
like that. Our plans in regards to that are looking at it from almost like a component point of view.
Yep.
So instead of going, all right, we're going to save up another, 20 grand or what have you, we can look at each individual part of the system, say
Yep.
the solar panel.
3 parts basically.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we've got like the solar panels that can be upgraded or
Can-
expanded.
Yep, added onto, which is probably
Added
what
onto.
we'll do.
We can look at the battery component,
Yep.
which can be can they be added to, or would you just replace it with?
Probably replace them because, as I said, they were 600 amp hour batteries, like lead acid batteries.
Yep.
So we could either replace them with, now they're 48 volt. So we could either replace them with like a lithium type battery, or we could go sort of the same as what we have, like a lead acid battery, but go for something like a 1200 or 1400 amp hour.
And as technology improves, like those
Yeah, batteries
options
get
batteries get better. They
Yep.
get more economical. So
Yep.
we just kind of try to stay across that, and when the time comes, we will consider our options.
Yeah.
Now, the third component would be the inverter.
The inverter.
So tell me about our options there.
So we've got a 5,000 watt Quattro inverter. If we were to upgrade, we'd probably go to like the same one, but maybe like a 10,000 watt. Even though they're rated for, say, well, ours is say rated for 5,000. It does have like a spike peak of double that usually, so 10,000 for a limited time. But it also has a continuous usage output. Now, I'm only going off the spec sheet for that particular inverter, right? So the ambient temperature affects how many watts it'll put out continuously. So in summer, for example, the max wattage continuous is, I think from memory, about 3,500 continuous watts in summer on, say, a 40-degree ambient day, temperature day. In winter, it's a bit more because the temperature's lower, because inverters produce heat to produce electricity. But if we go to like a 10,000 watt inverter, I mean, we could put a 10,000 watt inverter on there right now. Right? And we could just...
Yeah, if we were to upgrade the system, we would upgrade that first, rather than upgrade like the solar panels and the batteries.
Yeah. Now, when you think about it, like, okay...
And they've got good resale value as well.
Yes, definitely.
So we could upgrade that and then, like, resell our current inverter.
Yes, definitely. Because Vitron is like one of the better brands, right? Now, say we upgrade to a 10,000 watt inverter, right? So we've got, all this extra wattage we can play with.
Yeah.
That's good, but is it going to change our lifestyle?
I don't know. Still probably wouldn't be enough to run a freeze dryer. Just say, for example.
So one of the things that I would change is our irrigation pumps. Right?
Okay.
I would like to increase them in size and power, so we can we want to irrigate the backyard with big sprinklers eventually, but our little pumps just haven't got the guppies to do it.
Yep. So
if we could upgrade to like a good brand, like a Grundfos brand pump that probably 2,500, 3,000 watts of power, but it really pumps out the water and it'll run those big sprinklers no problem. Yep. That would be good, but we wouldn't even think about doing that now off the current inverter setup.
Yeah, if we had more power to play with, I might look at a more extensive collection of appliances. Yeah. Things that use more power that I can use during the day when we've got an excess of power.
Yep.
So, maybe like an air fryer, or looking at a dehydrator, just stuff like that I don't quite have yet because there's not super efficient options
choices
out there in the market. So I guess in that respect, that might change our life.
An air fryer. Oh, so excited.
So that's our system. That's how it's been performing so far.
Yep.
Excellently. We've had a great life living off grid. Haven't felt restricted or
it's kind of a bit funny,
like
isn't
we're
it?
missing out on anything.
Because there's off grid and there's off grid, right? Some people look at off grid as I bought a tent and I'm living in the bush and I'm living on my block in the bush.
Yeah,
I'm off grid. Right?
But, look, we're just technical version. We're not connected to mains power.
Yeah, so
and
that's it.
We're lucky enough that all our other services we're managing ourselves as well.
And part of the bit that I really enjoy, and you probably really enjoy too, but I would never speak for you, right? Okay. Is I really enjoy the aspect of being responsible for your own life, your own doings. We're responsible for water. If our bore pump stops or we don't get enough rain, we don't have water, right? If our gas bottles run empty, we don't have cooking or hot water. If our power system doesn't have charge, we don't have power, right? And it's good to be responsible for that.
Yeah, and have control over that.
Yeah, I really feel that's good. We see on local pages power outages
all the time.
Actually. A lot.
And we're like,
the power's out. Shit, the power's out. Yeah, it's but when you're responsible for your own, it kind of makes you proud, I don't know, I feel really a bit more connected to our land and our life.
Yeah. 4 years, we've broken even, we've got plans for when it's time to expand or improve, and we are loving being off grid. So that is
Loving
us
our life.
at ROCKPILE Off-Grid Homestead. If you are interested in the construction of our solar power system, check this out here. And we will see you guys later.
See you on the next one.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.